Officials say early votes and mail-in ballots processed before today were expected to be released first. Ballots cast today still have to be counted tonight. And because, again, this is D.C.'s first election using ranked choice voting, some results may continue to develop or come in the days ahead.
The Board of Elections also has until June 26 to count all mail-in ballots as long as they were postmarked by today. So while some races may be called or a little bit clearer tonight, others could take a little bit more time to project a winner when it is finally announced. Let's go to John Duran. He is live at the D.C. Board of Elections for us this evening. John, now that the polls are closed, what do we know about the results as they're starting to trickle in?
Yeah, well, Larry, we're not going to get those first results until the last person in line is able to cast their vote at an in-person polling place tonight. I'm again with Gary Thompson. There's still work being done here. What is going on right now and what will continue on throughout the night?
Well, we've had an excellent day. A lot of people have come out to vote. There's obviously a lot of interest in this election, and as you just mentioned, there are still lines. 8 p.m. has passed, but if you've been in line at 8 p.m., you get to go all the way through and vote. So it might take, probably will take beyond 9 p.m. until those lines have been taken care of, and then we'll release the first results, which will be the results from early voting and the mailed ballots that have been processed and counted before today. So what you're seeing here are thousands of ballots that have been received today, in many cases dropped off in person at our vote centers. So, we're talking probably more than 20,000 ballots that have yet to be processed here by these excellent election workers.
And that's a variable you were talking about, right? Because you don't know quite yet how many ballots were dropped off today. That could carry things into maybe tomorrow or the next day.
Correct. And also bear in mind that everybody that voted today live, those votes are going to be received and uploaded, later this evening. We're going to be here until late tonight making sure those get uploaded. So late tonight, we'll be sure and release everything that we possibly can, which will be all the early votes, all of the mailed and dropped off ballots that we processed before today, hopefully most of the live results from today. That's going to be a pretty significant, sample of our votes. So, but it's still obviously going to take more than a few more days for everybody to process everything that's being received. And we're going to wait until the weekend before we run the first ranked choice voting tabulation.
Since we are standing by as work is getting done, what is the process once a ballot makes its way here? Yeah. Where does it go? How does it get counted?
Yeah, so we're talking about physical ballots that people have received in the mail, and they filled them out. They filled in the bubbles, and they've either put them in the post office or they've dropped them in one of our boxes. So every day we're receiving now thousands of these things, a lot today. As I mentioned, probably more than 20,000. So they come in here. The first thing they do is they get stamped to verify that they've been received. Then they get run through a machine to verify from the barcode that they're received as of a certain time. So you can actually go online and check the status of your ballot if you've mailed it in, and it will tell you ballot received. Then after that, they're opened, and then they're flattened, and then they're brought over here, and they're ready to be fed into the machine that actually does the tabulating. So it reads the votes that have been bubbled in, and then that goes into the digital process that gets uploaded into everything else. So if you voted digitally early or today, it gets combined with that, and will become aggregate data at that point.
I know you've stopped by many polling places today. Yeah. We're looking at a lot of ballots in this room. I don't know if it's any indication, or you could say, how was the turnout today? How did things go? How pleased were you with people out voting in D.C. today?
It was great. I've been to maybe 50 of the 75 vote centers. It's been a busy day. Early voting, I went to a lot of the centers. It's really excellent turnout. I would say it's higher than 2 years ago. It just feels like a lot more people are out here voting, especially the latter half of today. Lines started to form at various vote centers. With 75 vote centers, lines aren't too long at most of them. There's a couple that always get a lot of turnout, like Turkey Thicket, Martin Luther King Library, Chevy Chase, Georgetown. There's a couple spots where, we've got a lot of a good turnout. And, the happy, point to make there is that we've got excellent turnout. That's what we want to see. Obviously, these candidates have a lot of people interested in voting. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Gary Thompson. D.C. Board of Elections tonight. We're going to stay here as the results and, the information rolls in tonight. Larry Lorenzo will be here.
All right. Just to reiterate really quickly, so we have early in-person votes being tabulated tonight. We have the drop boxes, everything that was dropped off before today, and also the results from today. So that is a significant number of votes that we should Yeah,
That should
calculating.
that should give us a taste of
Yeah.
where voters are standing right now.
Thank those election workers as well.
Absolutely.
Tough job.
John Duran, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
doing a great job.
Yeah, absolutely.